try. Not my words, they're the words of Mick Potter, the coach here. Hull KR get us underway. The ground now is in complete shadow, so any would-be advantage from the setting sun away to our left-hand side has been diminished. And really, in the first half, Hull KR didn't really use that to any advantage, did they?
Certainly didn't, Eddie, and I must say that Justin Morgan would be quite pleased that there are only 2 points adrift, with the fact that, especially in the first 25 minutes, it looked as though the Bulls had full control of the game, and yet they only scored that one try. That's a silly penalty to give away. Fisher having a second pole.
Win now at the backs of the Bradford Bulls, but I'm not so sure they haven't found touch. What an error.
That's schoolboy stuff, and I'm sorry, this is Super League, and for you to fail to kick it out on the full, well, that is a disgrace. I'm sorry.
Wait, guys, wait.
Well, Hull KR won't be complaining. They start this set of 6 just inside their own half. They cross now on the tackle number 3 into Bradford territory, courtesy of Clint Newton. They've won the last 4 home Super League meetings against Bradford. They've not won here since a First Division fixture in September 1991. And they were hammered 40 points to 4 here last year. In fact, they've conceded 40 points or more in each of the 6 defeats they've suffered in the last 7 visits. But here they go, here with Morrell, and Morrell will score the first try of this second half for Hull Kingston Rovers. History has to change sometime, and perhaps Rovers believe, and Justin Morgan will agree, that tonight is the night for them. Scott Morrell starting this game on the bench. He hasn't scored since recording the 40th try of his career in the home win against Harlequins in April. What a time to get going again for Scott Morrell. Rovers hit the front.
Well, they give them the opportunity, didn't they? And that is poor defence. Ellimer just got pushed away so easy. Back on the inside for Scott Morrell. And you can see there it just went and grasped. That really was very poor from the big second rower, Olivia Ellimer. This is the moment when they had the penalty, should have been taking control, failed to find touch. Good take by Sean Briscoe. But Blake Green just threw the dummy, went the way. Ellimer couldn't do anything about it.
So Dobson here now to add the extra 2 if he can, and he does. So it's gone from 8-6 at half-time to 12-8 to Hull Kingston Rovers at the start of this second half. The dream start for Justin Morgan, a nightmare for Mick Potter.
A great start for Hull KR. Bill made reference just before half-time to the running battle between Blake Green and Oliver Ellimer. Ellimer, you would say, had won that first half. He sat Blake Green on his backside a couple of times and really ruffled him up. On that occasion, Blake Green, well, he wins, easily getting around Ellimer to set up the try. We spoke about Blake Green's ability to take the ball to the line and to take and run it. He showed on that occasion to great effect.
Let's get down to Bill. I think, Bill, you know, whatever Justin said in his animated team talk at half-time, it's worked miracles here.
Yeah, the impression given, or the impression gained, was that he was pretty fired up and was laying into the side, but the word is that it was all positive and all on the back of a really positive end to that first half. Okay, acceptance that the first quarter of the game didn't go particularly well for them, that the feeling, and they've shown it as they've come out, is that Rovers are beginning to turn the tide in this game. They feel that Bradford have gone off the boil, and they certainly have come out second half and gone about their business well, just as the coach was anticipating. The one area they've got to tighten up against the Bulls, they're conscious of, is around the marker, where Bradford have managed to dominate them.
Well, they dominate Gareth Rayner with that tackle. Galea and Fisher. Here is Carney. Galea stands his ground and brings him down. Could have been penalised there.
Should have been.
He's okay.
O'Brien.
Good work by the hooker. So busy, isn't he? Has to get involved.
Scruton will drive it forward once again for Bradford. 7th in a row for Nick Scruton, off the substitutes bench tonight. He's only had 1 start this year. And that's Herbert. Short ball to Ellimer. He got the ball away somehow. Herbert to Platt.
Oh, that's forward.
Well, it was.
And they've missed it. It's probably the worst forward we've had throughout this game. And the touch judge on that far side didn't even see it. Neither did the man with the whistle.
Herbert That ball was knocked forward, and it's been kicked forward by Chris Wellham, and Wellham has got support with him here with Fox. Wellham will give it to Fox, and Fox will score the second Hull Kingston Rovers try of this second half, right behind the posts. Don't think the referee will hand this upstairs, there's no need to. 2 tries in 3 minutes. Peter Fox. Great start to the second half from Justin Morgan's men. It bounced off the head of Ian Sibbett, went forward, Wellham hacked it on, he picked it up, Fox was there in support, and he's got a prodigious scoring rate, as Peter Fox mentioned earlier, a try on average every other game in 4 seasons for Rovers, and he's just got this one here that has really given them impetus for the second 40.
Well, Mark Herbert puts up a very, very high kick, and it's a little bit of lazy defence. Kearney was an eternity to get right over. Wellham realised that he was going to be gunned down, offloaded to Peter Fox, who certainly has got more speed. Well, this game has turned around in the space of 2 minutes. See the not the best there. See how the fullback just walking around. There's a couple of them hanging around. It's too late. Made the break. Wellham says, I need support. Fox says, give it to me. I've got the speed. They've taken control.
And a few seconds ago, Dobson from bang in front doesn't make a mistake. That's 3 from 3 with the boot for him. It's 18-8 to Hull KR suddenly.
That's one of those let's feel sorry for ourselves kind of tries, isn't it? We're at the other end of the field, it's against a run of play, the ball hasn't bounced our way, and I looked at the heads of a lot of the Bradford players jogging back to stand behind the post as that kick was taken. If they're not careful, I guess what was said in that 30-60 seconds that they stood there and how they react here now to what's just happened will define and determine whether 2011 is all over or not.
There's a better way of defending that try as well. Brett Kearney, your fullback, is going to chase the kick, so he won't be in any sort of defensive position. The job should have been of Gareth Rayner, after he played the ball, to sweep round in an arc, cover Brett Kearney's position in case something like that happens. You'd be surprised how often it happens. The back three need to be working as a pendulum. Gareth Rayner should have made a bit of a better effort to come and cover Brett Kearney's position in the defence.
Green gets it out wide to Newton.
Well, it's amazing. The first 20 minutes of the game, Bradford's defence was quite superb, but it has just gone from worse to worse. It's shocking. They've got to get it sorted out. Mick Potter will be furious. That was a very soft try that Fox scored, and the Bradford side know it as well.
Bradford have been a bit Jekyll and Hyde. Mick Potter knows that as well. This year they defeated Huddersfield 36-0 in the last home game this year. If they win this and then they win the final home game against the Crusaders, they'll have won more at home than they have lost for the first time in 3 seasons. But at the moment, 18-8 to Rovers. The omens do not look good. When they get the ball wide, they do to Michael Platt. And Webster, he snared the trap. Last tackle here for Bradford. The kick from Jeffries goes straight up in the air, but too long. Briscoe's underneath it, no one pressurising him.
Well, they couldn't get there in time. The kick from Jeffries was far too forward. No way in the world could any of those Bulls players apply the pressure. It was so easy.
And Mick Vella comes on to the field for Rovers. There he is. He doesn't waste much time in getting involved, does he? And here goes Ben Fisher.
Great work. Super stuff. He realises that position is vital to get his kick away.
He's an effervescent little player, is Ben Fisher.
Oh, there's a Rovers player taken out there. I think it was Patrick Arvan that got involved. He's down in way back in play. It's Wellham. And did he slip or was it a contact?
He's crumpled in a heap and he's needing attention from the physio. Rayner takes that tackle. Arvan just stood his ground, didn't he?
Yeah, he's certainly run into him, but he's come off second best. He's in no good shape. We mentioned earlier, this is a big unit, Patrick Arvan.
So is this, Lynch.
Well, he's making his way back into the defensive line now. We hope he's okay. It's a big set for Bradford here. They're in danger of this game slipping away from them very, very quickly. You can plug this ball in the corner, get down and chase and try and force an error out of off the whole KR side.
Well, the kick is important, and it's long again from the boot this time of Herbert. Latest did well under pressure. He must have heard the hooves of Patrick Arvan coming at him. Elima. For a moment, it seems as though he's going to allow him to get to his feet. That's poor.
He's not well, Latest. I'm not surprised he gets a second hit. Elima come in and finished him off. Big problems for the winger.
Langley with the tackle, and Lynch was on Jake Webster, who came in centre field then to take a bit of the weight off his forwards. This is the last tackle for Rovers. Good stint by Bradford in defence. Good kick though over the top of Carney. And the chase is led by Blake Green.
Good work as well by the standoff Green. They really are controlling this. You know, you can see that Bradford, they're struggling to get anywhere near progress into the opposition half. Good move, you know, by Justin Morgan to bring back the captain, Mick Vella. 18-8, got a good lead, and he knows that he'll work hard both in defence. He'll take the ball up all the time, will the skipper.
Danny Addy's back out there. Kick off the outside of the boot again is easy for Sean Briscoe. And he poked his head through there.
Well, Mick Potter's got to get the message out and say, come on, that's 3 very poor kicks on the trot.
And yet Hull KR looked the more tight side. Look, you could almost collect them. They stood so grouped together in the middle of the field, reliant on the outside backs to do the work.
A little bit of a mini crisis for Mick Potter. Morrell gets it away to Green. He then finds Webster. Webster gets it wide. And here goes Latus. Oh, Latus has got past Carney, and then the ball is knocked forward twice. I think the first one was a Bradford hand that knocked the ball out of Latus's grasp. It was Webster, I think, who came up with the knock-on that matters.
Great work by Jake Webster, wasn't it? A beautiful offload. And Sam Latus, I mean, a couple of moments ago, Latus was limping.
Well, he's passed it forward, hasn't he? There was Sam Latus. Great little play from Jake Webster to put him on the outside. He's drawn in Mark Herbert, exposed the Bradford left edge defence, and set his winger off down the sideline.
That's a glorious opportunity squandered for Rovers there.
But there is that spark, Eddie. I spoke at half-time about looking for a spark from a team pushing for a playoff position. You see a bit more of a spark from Hull KR now.
It's not a given, of course, for Hull KR, even if they do win here tonight. Saints, Catalan and Castleford to come. All the teams that they face are in the mix themselves. Some difficult assignments. Sibbett goes down on tackle number 3. Galea taking him low. This is Langley. Galea again with the tackle. He was helped out there by Scott Taylor. Last tackle for Bradford. Jeffries.
Got to be a better kick, and it looks as though it is. He's under this. Bang!
Oh! Peter Fox took that and was absolutely clattered by Patrick Arvan.
Well, that's putting your body on the line. Oh, that's dangerous. Langley nearly got to Dobson, thrown him in the in-goal area. How's that for an impact? Whoa!
You have to admire how quickly Bradford are moving up, how hard they're working here to defend it, and to try and force an error and keep the hopes alive.
Wait.
They've restricted Hull Kingston Rovers in that set of 6 to just 19 metres forward. And the kick here is vital, and that's a great kick, actually. That is a tremendous kick.
You know, that's the second time it's happened where they put a great defensive set in, and the full-back or the wingers have not caught the ball in the full, or taken too long to get to it. Your reward for defending so well is to catch that ball on the full and return it to near the halfway line than Brett Carney and Patrick Arvan managed on that occasion.
Penalty there by Taylor.
Silly play.
I tell you what, though, this Patrick Arvan is a wrecking ball. Just have another look at this penalty here. But he hit Fox on his own line, and he's nearly just taken Ben Galea into Disneyland as well.
He's a large unit.
He's a big chap.
One, move.
There it is,
Hold.
bang.
That was the first, and then there was one on Galea.
Play on, still one.
Addy for Bradford.
And he was looking to try to offload. There was no support.
Hold. Go.
Mick Potter will be furious at this.
Good run in here from
Move.
Craig
right.
Kopjak.
Hold.
Welsh international. Danny Addy's 5 metres away.
Break, you're out.
Langley. And he took that standing still, and he didn't really make much progress forward. Clint Newton and company saw to that. Danny Addy again. They go wide with Herbert. That's a good ball. Platt out to the back door, and he found the touch judge. He didn't find Rayner. Frustrating for Mick Potter.
Yeah, but it was a chance. At least he tested the arm. He realised that did Michael Platt that the winger had come in, and Latest has gone through. It left a clear open run for the winger on this side. Trouble is, went over the top of Rayner. That says it all. Mick Potter, who would be a coach.
Latest's defensive decision was determined by Jake Webster. When Jake Webster makes the decision to go in, Sam Latest has to come hell or high water, follow him and come in. Did on that occasion. You just get a bit worried with the lack of structure in the attack of the Bradford Bulls. Jamie Langley getting that ball standing still just shows that the direction amongst the halves, where they want their forwards to run when they're attacking the whole KR line, is a little absent just at the moment.
Let's get down to Bill.
Eddie, the sense of frustration growing among the Bulls fans around me, realising that this season is in danger of just drivelling away now. At half-time, there was a bit of optimism in the air to the extent that there was a big half-time push for season tickets for next season, a big pledge campaign they've got going on here to try and raise membership for next season. But it's this season the fans are worried about now.
Markers off. Markers.
Yes, they are worried because the 10-point gap and the sands of time are trickling away.
It's a shame as well. If you look at the attendances they've had at this ground during the year, it's been a credit to Super League.
It has.
They've got into 5 figures on so many occasions, if not in every occasion. If more clubs could follow and bring out crowds like that, we'd be doing better.
Indeed so. Well, they've been a credit to Super League from day one, and when you look at them, their record, champions in 1997, when they were first past the post, then they went to grand finals and won them in 2001, 3 and 5. They were World Club champions 3 years and cup winners twice. They have a glorious past, and sorry, that is not a glorious pass. That was a forward pass.
Well, just lack of concentration, and Mick Potter again will be furious. I mean, it's one thing to say, oh, try to kid the opposition by not looking where you're passing the ball, but it's so important.
Here we go, guys.
Your eyes and your arms, the coordination is going absolutely crackers, is Mick Potter.
He is.
He's every right to.
Yeah, the temperature's rising in that coaching box, isn't it?
Heads in, Ben,
That's not
stay.
going crackers, is it? He hasn't moved.
No, it is for Mick. He's a softly, quietly spoken gentleman,
Crackers.
is Mick Potter.
Release.
And he wasn't impressed with what he's seen there.
I'll tell you what I have been impressed is the way that Justin
Hold it,
Morgan
Emmanuel,
realised
okay.
that in the first 20 minutes they really was all at sea. And when he brought Ben Fisher off the bench, this guy that is just at the dummy half now, he's been the reason why they've got back into the game. And not only that, they're controlling the match now.
No way through for Wellham.
Release. 3. All guys. Go.
Galea to Dobson. Here's Vella.
Ball. Move.
Just
come
get
on.
the sense that Bradford maybe are just getting a little tired.
Okay.
Dobson's kick through, but well claimed by Arvan. Trying to
It
use
reads
his
again.
strength on Michael Dobson.
He reads the game well. We know he's a big unit. It's very, very strong, hard to put down, but he knows when the kick's coming through. He's saved the bacon of Bradford on 4 or 5 occasions in this particular game. It's a nice little kick through there by Michael Dobson.
Move. Come on.
Bradford need inspiration from somewhere as we approach the last quarter of this match. Can Addy provide it?
Well, I think Gareth Rayner getting his hands on the ball in the middle of the field, in the final quarter, that could be a ploy that works for them. He's got tremendous footwork. He's strong in the tackle. Okay, he's tackled on that occasion. But they need to perhaps bring somebody like him into centre field. Kick by Jeffries does gain them ground. They've got to force possession and come up with the ball near the Rovers line.
Yeah, they're hunting the mistake here, aren't they? I mean, that was you would call that a negative kick, I think, wouldn't you, generally?
Well,
Generally, you would, finding touch, but I mean, I know what you're saying. They're gaining good ground, and now
no
the
challenge. With a
opportunity.
quarter of the game remaining, and just 10 points behind. Yes, I can't see anything wrong with that, particularly the way they've defended. They need the ball, though, don't they, down this end of the field?
And they have defended quite well at times, forcing Hull KR to kick maybe only 30 metres off their line. Say the fullbacks and the wingers haven't always got to it on the full, but some of these Bradford forwards can be proud of their defensive efforts.
Hope you joined us for those two Super League matches, the back end of this week, Friday and Saturday. Wigan on Friday, Wakefield on Saturday. Taylor will drive it forward for Rovers.
2, move, back up, hold.
Got to keep calm now, Rovers. A 10-point lead should be sufficient. As you mentioned, Eddie, the Bulls are desperate to try to get possession. At least if they can apply the pressure so that when the kick comes, that they're way deep in their own half and look to touch forward. Always complaints from the crowd, the fans. This short pass, this flat pass, it creates all sort of problem for the official.
Move, come on, Michael. Go.
Fisher and Green.
Okay, there.
Comes the ball, it goes straight at Rayner. Good offload. Carney.
Well, it's a time. Yeah, it's a time that Brett Carney starts going into the attack a little bit more often. He's been pretty quiet at the position of full back. He's got to, and the Bradford have to realise they've got to really start testing their arms slightly now. Desperate for that 6 points.
Addy gives it to Jeffries, who in turn gets it wide to Sibbett. Good offload from him, finds Whitehead. Here's Carney, Addy again. Addy dancing in front of the defenders. Newton gets to him, he still gets it away though. Finds Andy Lynch, Lynch with a handoff. Back it goes to Carney, trying to get it out wide. Eleanor has slipped the net, chance here. The ball went forward off Eleanor, looking for Rayner out wide. Chance gone.
Did he delay the offload just a touch too long? Well, he may not be animated, but I can assure you that Mick Potter is furious.
Fell out of his hand, didn't it?
Yeah. Would you have gone for a two-handed pass rather than a one-handed hopeful flick?
I would have done exactly what Oliver Elliman did, knock it on. But no, he's
he is animated now, Brian.
Yeah, he's trying to get the ball around the corner, Elliman. They're creating some chances, just execution letting them down on that occasion. They'll need to score soon, I believe, to have a chance of winning this game.
Webster will try and take it forward for Rovers, but halted by Herbert. Dobson, short ball, Vella.
And again, it's a good defensive stint by the Bulls. They're keeping Hull KR in their own quarter.
That opening to this second half, though, has cost Bradford dearly. 2 tries in 3 minutes.
It was a blitz and a half, wasn't it? Will they go early in the tackle count before the wingers have dropped back on the Bulls outfit? Nice work, nice tackle. Oh, and Whitehead looks...
the referee says play on, because Whitehead was on the deck. Galea was adjudged to have ridden the tackle, and he played the ball. And the referee says to Galea, there was no hand in contact with you when you hit the floor.
You see Whitehead couldn't get the head out of the way.
He's spot on, the referee.
Exactly right, it's play on. Ben Galea, he didn't back himself. He'd run as hard as he could, as you ask your players to do, and he's left Whitehead on the ground and didn't take advantage of it. He's a good player, Ben Galea. He's been very, very good for the Hull KR club.
Yes, and as I say, he's playing on in 2012.
That's good news for me. He can push him around to a few different positions on the field. He's gutsy, makes his tackles. He's a quality addition to Super League, I believe.
Now you see Whitehead just couldn't get the head out of the way, which will be a shame, because I think Elliot Whitehead has been by far the best player on this Bradford Bulls outfit tonight. He really has gained some ground, and some of the defence, especially in the first half, would have pleased that man Mick Potter. Scoreboard won't.
You know, in the remaining 17 or so minutes in this game, I don't know whether Bradford will start to set Eddie as close to Hull Kingston Rovers line as what they're going to get here. If this kick finds touch, which you suspect it will, they're what, 30 metres? 6 players, 30 metres. This isn't going to happen very often. I think they have to turn this one into 6 points.
Well, can they find the key? Langley.
Move, wait.
Addy scampers in at dummy half. They come up the middle with Lynch. Solid run, but met by solid defence. And he's still going to within 10 metres of the line. This is a chance for Bradford. Herbert to Carney, quick pass under pressure from Webster. Platt hangs on. Rovers defending for their lives here, for their playoff lives maybe. Ellimer delayed, and lost it backwards, did he? No, to knock on.
Oh, he's come up with an error at the time when it looked as though they were just getting back into this game. I was just about to say that a quick play of the ball, we've seen it so often this year, is that Andy Lynch comes screaming close to the line, and well, that's poor play, but he's maybe confused, saying that well, I thought it went backwards. It didn't.
Well, Justin, wonder who will be coaching Hull Kingston Rovers next year when Ben Galea will go round again.
Interesting, before the game, Eddie.
Looks like he's got a problem here.
I saw the Australian Peter Gentles has arrived. He's watching this particular game.
Is that Gentles plural, with his family with him, or was he on his own, Peter Gentles?
He must have his sons with him.
It doesn't matter.
The Gentles were here.
Meet the Gentles.
Anyway, he's here. Whether he have his family with him, I'm not right sure.
So you're throwing Peter Gentles' name into the hat, are you, for Hull KR?
Well, I don't think he's come for a holiday.
Why? Glorious place to come on a holiday.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, let's just say he came with his manager.
Move, Hull guys, just wait. Go. 40.
Kick downfield from Rovers, only to Brett Carney. Good chase by Jordan Cox.
They've got to up the tempo, and then you can see Brett Cannon very sluggish to regain his feet.
Yeah, I've noticed for a while they look a little bit leg weary, Bradford. They need something special to spark them for the last quarter of an hour.
Wait, guys. Go.
Addy. Lynch will keep it going to the end. Lynch finds Herbert. Here's Ellimer. Oh, another mistake.
Oh, everything. They did everything. Set up well. Great break from Andy Lynch and an offload. Yet again, the final pass lets him down. Ellimer rode the tackle from Webster well and offloaded to Herbert, who'd come around on the loop.
Come here.
He called for it, Herbert, too.
Yeah.
He was expecting it.
He needs to catch that.
If you don't do the basics, you've got no chance of winning.
Yeah, okay. Do you know the player who was? Elliot Whitehead.
Well, no wonder you never wanted to be a coach, Brian. Something's going on report here. Is there an alleged bite by somebody?
Come on.
Whitehead is being brought into
This
the...
player's made an allegation that you bit him on the arm.
Oh.
Tony, there's the mark. Okay. The incident will go on report.
Jordan Cox is saying he's been bitten on the arm, and he has said the allegation has come from him that it was Elliot Whitehead who did the biting. We'll have to have a look at that.
Heads in. When you're ready. Time on out.
Well, you'd hope we're not going to see that in the game. I mean, you'd hope he hasn't done it.
One, move, wait.
Is this it here? Oh dear. Oh,
Two.
Well, I don't think it's a
not
bite.
sure, no.
More of a lick.
Well, the judiciary, I'm sure, will have a look at it. What it means is Hull KR now have a chance to put further pressure on the Bradford Bulls defence.
Clint Newton for Hull Kingston Rovers.
Move. Ball, guys. Wait. Go.
Josh Hodgson
Wait.
and Dobson. Back it comes to Briscoe. Wellham. He goes inside. Well, oh, and the pass. Straight to the Bradford man. Straight to Elliot Whitehead. Van again.
That was a wasted effort by the Rovers. All they had to do, it's been a while since they've been in the opposition half. They didn't have to force the pass. All they had to do was camp down there. They've got the good kicker out there in Michael Dobson. All they had to do was just dink it into the corner. Keep turning this Bull outfit around. That's a shocker.
Yes, it's actually found its way to Rayner by luck rather than good judgment. That's a great pass from Rayner. Here is Ben Jeffries. Didn't get the pass away before he was clattered by Briscoe. Addy. Just suddenly they've lost their way, Bradford again.
Give a lot of credit to the Rovers to get him back very quickly, organising the defence. And look at that. That is one good straight line.
The spark disappeared, and that's an awful kick.
That's not good enough for the halves and hooker of Bradford Bulls. They made a break, they had a chance. They had Hull KR at 6s and 7s, and ended up looking clueless on the field. They'll be very disappointed with that.
A great ball from Rayner, good run from Jeffries.
And he rides the tackle. Sean Briscoe comes up, clatters him, but they still have the opportunity. Hull KR, they haven't got the defensive line set. Still, Bradford couldn't come up with a decent play.
Time's as big an enemy at the moment for Bradford as is Hulkingston Rovers. Bill?
Bengalia is on the sidelines, his left knee heavily iced. That's what forced him off the field. Again, outstandingly consistent for Rovers this evening, but probably out for the remainder of the game by the look of things, Galea. Meanwhile, the atmosphere down here really is one of anxiety, certainly from the Bulls camp.
And it might get worse in a moment. That's another solid run from Webster.
Big problems there for the centre, Michael Platt. He's limping.
Nice kick, looking for Dobson. Oh, the ball's come free and Dobson will score it.
What a mistake by Brett Carney. He wants to go upstairs as James Child.
He wants to check the grounding, and no wonder. How did that ball come out for Dobson to touchdown?
He's asked for the obstruction, possibly the interference with Dobson as he's going through. He's onside on the kick. I don't think there's a problem with that. The referee has asked to see if he's been impeded.
Well, Green has got a good kick away.
I think that's okay. That's play on so far.
And
Does he push Carney in the back though? That's, I think, what the referee's question was, Brian.
I beg your pardon, sorry, you're right.
I think you might be right, Phil. It's a real race through it. It's was it a forced error? Did Dobson push Carney?
Yes,
I think you'd have to say yes. This should be a penalty to the home side.
At speed, I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure if he pushes him. I mean,
he pushes him,
He does push him, Brian. He does push him and alter his body movement. Watch.
It's no try.
That's going to affect where your arm goes if you're pushed in the back.
Ian Smith is an experienced video referee.
I think you're right. We'll chalk it off.
Well, there was a bit of a split up here, and Ian Smith is the man who has the say.
All right, it wasn't given the try. There's no doubt in my mind that Michael Dobson has pushed the full back. But the one thing that Justin Morgan will be pleased with is at least, okay, they're going to wear the penalty, but they'll get to a point where they can keep Bradford in their own half.
I think you might have given that the green light, you know. I mean, I know that they're both moving at speed. It's a tough one to call.
They look a lot worse when you slow them down, but I guess when you do slow them down, you do make the decision to go to the video referee. You can't ignore the evidence that's put in front of you. But I agree, at normal speed, you're always going to have little elements of contact between players.
But
just
I think
jostling.
the contact was minimal myself.
Well, that's right, jostling for position. But as I said, when you make the decision to go to the video, the evidence is there, and you've got to take it.
It's a rule, it's a law, okay?
You ignore them normally.
Yeah, but it's not the velocity of the push.
Well, I'm saying I don't think there was a push. Andy Lynch has taken a bang above the eye.
Ooh.
He's worked hard, though. I must say
He
that
does every week for them.
Yeah, Andy Lynch is a real tyro, isn't he? The dynamo of the side.
If they could fluke a try out of here with 10 minutes to go, they are. And I'll tell you what, the crowd would get excited. Bulls have got nothing to lose. I guess keeping the ball alive now as we see a head clash there has got to be the hope. But when they do, they have to have men closer in support to the ball carrier.
I think you've hit the nail on the head, Phil. The crowd might get a bit excited because since the halcyon days down here, the crowd's gone just a little bit quiet at Odsal. I know the team has struggled in the main.
It's a shame, though, you have to try and fluke a try. I mean, they don't seem to have the ability to construct it.
Well, there's a possibility here. That's a good kick from Herbert this time. Latest is underneath it. Didn't he take it well?
Unbelievable. Talk about the pressure there from Gareth Rayner. Stood his ground at the winger. You know, Mick Potter will go back to the fact, remember after the restart, this is the great take by the winger. He will look back after the restart. Remember, Bradford had a penalty and failed to find touch, and it all turned sour after that.
Yes, in 3 minutes. That was touched by a Bradford man.
Back to 6.
Move. 0. Go.
This is Clint Newton. Good tackle by Kopchak.
Come on.
Webster. Now then, if he gets up ahead of steam, look out. Scored a great try against Huddersfield, didn't he, in the defeat the other week?
But he knows the importance of keeping the possession. Wasn't looking to offload, even though he made good progress forward.
Oh, Cox. Biff and barge and bang, almost through.
Hold.
Briscoe waits for Rovers. Dobson pops the ball up. Good play there by Liam Watts. Morrell and Green.
Oh, move! Come on, fellas.
Hodgson waiting again.
Go.
It's with Dobson. Now Briscoe. Down on the last. 15 metres away from the line. Going right with Blake Green.
Still last.
Back it comes to Hodgson. He stabs the ball to the in-goal area and follows up and scores. Josh Hodgson with the try. Tremendous little dink through, and Hodgson followed up and plonked the ball down, and that could be the try that signals the end of the Bradford season for 2011 in effect, and it will continue this desperate pursuit of a place in the playoffs for Hull Kingston Rovers.
What a great individual effort. Throws the dummy to Green, and then he really gets it back, just trickles it through. Anybody at home? No. The answer is quite clear. Brett Kearney didn't have the speed. Green did well to offload, and so did Hodgson to take it. It dummied around. What a great individual effort, and this is what it means to the coach. He knows that they've got this game wrapped up. He knows that they are still chasing the black and whites.
Well, he went 47 games without scoring a try, Josh Hodgson, for Hull Kingston Rovers. And in game number 46 and 47, i.e. tonight and the last time he played, he has touched down on each occasion. Big contribution from him, and an equally big contribution from Michael Dobson. It's 24 points to 8, and it's Hull KR's to lose now. And Bradford, well, I think Mick Potter knows. He said it was do or die tonight. He knows that, and so do they, because they're heading for the exits. The Bradford Bull supporters know that this is curtains for their playoff hopes in 2011. Mathematically, it's still not beyond them, but they have to hope that something happens.
Oh, tough call there from the kickoff.
I'm with you, Phil. I thought that had just got over the...
Well, the ref has to make an instant call, doesn't he? He said he didn't think it went 10 metres. Hang on, let's freeze it at that point. He's spot on. Where was his foot?
Wow.
He's spot on, the referee.
Is it just short as he makes contact?
I must say that James Child is in a magnificent position.
It's
as
short.
He takes it, he's on that white.
If his foot had been on the line, Brian, would that have been okay?
No, I don't think the ball's got to go 10. The ball didn't go 10.
And it didn't, and that has proved it conclusively that James Child has got it spot on.
You're a killjoy, Kearney.
Well, look, for Hull KR, they've got a chance.
Hey, Steve-O's got the rule book out tonight.
They've got a chance in the competition as long as they've got these halves out on the field. Michael Dobson, Blake Green, and young Josh Hodgson. They're credible threats, and they've caused Bradford trouble tonight. They're able to construct a game plan. They're able to execute a game plan for their coach.
Here's Liam Watts again, getting clattered to the ground. Hodgson, Dobson, Newton.
Good hard solid work now is needed by the Rovers. They know that they've got this wrapped up, and this is where the likes of the combination Blake Green, Michael Dobson, they'll just steer them around the park.
Dobson again. Bullet pass to Wellham. Wellham will score. Bradford's season comes to an end in effect, and Rovers will march on. They will continue the relentless chase of a place in the top 8 and a tilt at Old Trafford, and it means a lot to those players out there, and it obviously means a lot to Mick Potter and well, Justin Morgan. He was celebrating a couple of minutes ago. He knows now that their season will continue. Their dogged pursuit of the black and white goes on.
The little short pass that got them in that position made the headway towards the line, and Dobson, beautiful, utilised the dummy runner, absolutely confused the Bulls defence. Look at this, dummy runner comes through, Wellham goes outside, the Bradford players are furious, but take nothing away from the skill factor that has been shown by the little halfback Michael Dobson. Give him the opportunity, this fella, and he will just take you apart. Not only that, it looks as though he may add a vital 2 points for the conversion.
He's kicked well all night. This time he's just pushed it the wrong side of the posts. But we're watching history this evening. Their first win on this ground in Super League, and their first win on this ground since 1991 in the old First Division. And Andy Lynch is going ballistic with his players.
Well, they've been poor in the basics, Eddie, in the second half. They went in leading by 2 points at half-time, 8 points to 6, and that's a big error.
I wonder if he called for it, Sam Latus.
Well,
I think he probably did.
I think he did. If you just watch Sean Briscoe leave it. Just got himself his position under the ball wrong. Bradford maybe have a chance now.
Well,
finish on a high.
Well, yes, but I don't think it'll make any difference.
No, it won't make a difference in the game, but they might send the remaining supporters here home with one happy memory from the game.
This is Rayner.
I think they may have had more happy memories if Jamie Langley had been able to play more games this season. I think this is only his 12th game out of... he's played less than 50% of the games for them, I think, this season, Eddie. And in my opinion, he's possibly the best player that Bradford have, just not been on the field often enough this year to really make an impact.
Yeah, he's in his 10th season with Bradford. He's missed the last two, Langley.
Play on, play on.
That ball has come free. Oh, it's all over the place. Penalty to Hull Kingston Rovers.
Holding him without the ball. There's a knock on.
Man being held without the ball.
Tackling him without the ball.
He's been on the ball, hasn't he, tonight, the official, James Child. Puts it back and then pushes forward where... Actually, that could have gone the other way.
I thought initially it might have been a knock-on against Rovers. But
not only that, it appeared as though it was the ball was... Either way, they will not be complaining.
Okay, on the line, guys, on his foot.
And they haven't gone for length with the kick, just surety.
It's amazing, isn't it? The run of Bradford's success against Hull Kingston Rovers coming to an end in the most impressive style as far as Rovers are concerned. A game that looked as though it was running away from them in that first half.
Knock on, there's no advantage.
Well, they look confident, haven't they, Hull Kingston Rovers, in the second half. And they control things in the opening, should I say, the final section of that first half. And he'll be pleased, Justin Morgan, because you could see he was animated at the half-time break. Wanted to make sure that you get a better response. And I must say that, Ryan, they have responded to their coach.
Nice and tight,
that's what will please him, Steve. We've hit the nail on the head. Coach will look for a response from his players. He's gone in there at half-time. He's asked them, I'm sure, for an awful lot more than they showed in the first 36 or 37 minutes of that game. And he got it, especially at the start of this second half. And it's put them in a position to go on and win the game comfortably in the end for the Bradford Bulls.
Yes, his team have hit the Bradford Bulls with 28 unanswered points after the opening quarter of an hour, which saw Bradford go into an 8-0 lead. Just playing out time now to the end of the match. A couple of minutes remaining.
And I mentioned earlier, didn't I, that Justin Morgan, you know, sometimes a coach has to make a decision when to bring someone off the bench.
Dobson, another great kick.
Oh, nearly had the opportunity there.
Good job that Carney came across.
The point I was making is that as soon as Ben Fisher went out there in that first half, midway through the first half, he changed the inflection of their attack.
He did, no doubt about that. Ben Fisher. He's a survivor from their promotion year, Ben Fisher, from 2006. Here is Green, Blake Green, and that is the icing on the cake for Hull Kingston Rovers. Dejected Bradford Bulls, but elated Hull KR. And Mick Potter knows this is probably the end of the road. They will go on. They will go on to keep pegging away for a place in the top 8 come the end of the season. They're delighted now. They weren't after a quarter of an hour. They were up against it at 8-0 down, but they fought back absolutely wonderfully.
Well, it's always a good opportunity, you know, when you're facing an opposition that has just fallen apart in the defensive department. Just threw the dummy and then just took the step. Nothing that Langley or Ellimer could do about that. He took full advantage of the tiredness of the Bulls. And he'll enjoy it as well, but as I mentioned, the fact that Ben Fisher sort of came off the bench, sorted everything around, has given the opportunity for the two halfbacks who have certainly shone in the second half. Both Green and Dobson, the man who's trying to add the extra two, they've been superb in the second half as well.
Well, it's a long time since Hull KR were champions of the elite competition. They were First Division title winners 1978, 79, and then twice in the 80s, 83, 84, 84, 85 seasons in the old winter days. Justin Morgan, his men march on, and there are boos around Odsal that are coming from the Bradford supporters, which is a shame. But Rovers, they get within a point of Hull FC, who are sitting 8th in the table, and it appears between the two big city clubs who gets that final place in the playoffs now.
Well, you mentioned Hull FC. They're in the box seat at the moment, and Hull KR are going to have to do a lot of chasing, but they have a quality side. They'll be disappointed with how patchy they've been this year. They've been very, very disappointing at times, but when they click, they got some very, very exciting players, and they can entertain and they can pour points on. They showed tonight to Bradford's cost, but they'll have an awful lot to do, Eddie, still to get into that 8.
Well, it's 20 years since Hull Kingston Rovers last won here, but Ian Proctor has been scanning the record books. They have equalled their highest post-war score at Odsal of Hull Kingston Rovers. A hard-earned victory, but a very welcome victory. 34 points to 8, engineered by that man, Michael Dobson, who is tonight's man of the match. He's talking to Bill.
Mick, congratulations, there's the champagne. First win here for 20 years. More importantly, it's a win that keeps you in the hunt.
Yeah, it does, mate. I thought in the first half we didn't complete our sets in good ball, and when we started to complete, we reaped the benefits in the second half and put on some nice tries.
Yeah, 8-0 down. Certainly for the first half hour, you weren't really in the game, but once you got into the game, it was your game, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I thought we defended pretty well, and it was just mistakes that were our errors that were killing us, and once we rectified them, as you saw, we got it together.
You're still not in the 8 yet, and given that you got Saints, Catalan away, and Castleford still to come, it's going to be tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be tough, mate, but you can only build on what we did this week, and hopefully next week we can improve again and hopefully get a few more wins on the board and sneak into the 8.
Well done. Champagne, £100 for charity of your choice as well, mate. Where's that going to go?
The Benevolent Fund, mate. Thank you.
Well done tonight. Thanks. Let's bring coach Justin Morgan in, and 8-0 down. Bradford were bossing the game, certainly maybe for the first quarter. What turned it for your guys?
I think we just got a little bit more possession. I think in the first half we just spilled too much ball when we got into a good field position. I think we got a penalty, dropped it on play 0, got another 40-20, dropped it on play 1. So we just needed to get some rhythm back into our game, and I thought in the second half we got some of that. We defended quite well. Their try came from a poor read with them coming out of yardage. So yeah, pretty pleased considering it was a huge game for us.
As I've just said to Mick Dobson, you know, you've still got a pretty tough task to get into the 8, haven't you?
Yeah, we have, but we're still alive. I think if we'd been beaten today, it would have been, almost impossible. But, I really think we need to get at least 2 more wins to give ourselves a chance. And, we've got 3 tough games, 3 teams that certainly ahead of us in the league. And but, after today's win, I think we'll get some confidence and, hopefully we can get a couple more victories.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
Keeping going, it's St Helens at home, Catalan away, Castleford at home.